Seniors, if you take a vitamin B12 supplement every single morning, I need you to stop and watch this entire video before you swallow your next pill. Right now, as you're sitting there is something happening inside the bodies of millions of seniors across America that comes with absolutely no warning signs. No chest pain, no dizziness, no headache, nothing that would make you put down your cup of coffee and call your doctor. And yet, it is quietly raising the risk of stroke, heart damage, and nerve problems in people who truly believe they are doing everything right for their health. I'm Dr. Li Wei. I'm an internal medicine physician with over 25 years sitting across the desk from seniors exactly like the ones I just described. And today, I'm going to tell you the truth about 5 medications that should never be carelessly combined with B12 after the age of 60. Let me ask you something. If you take a brand new kitchen and a kitchen that has been cooking 3 meals a day for 70 years, and you ask them both to prepare the same complicated dinner, do you expect the same result? Of course not. And yet, for decades, medicine has treated a 70-year-old digestive system the same way it treated a 30-year-old one. Same supplement doses, same expectations, same assumptions about absorption. That is starting to change, but not fast enough. Here's what actually happens inside an older body when B12 walks in. The stomach makes less acid, so B12 has a harder time being released from food. The gut lining gets thinner, so absorption drops. A special protein called intrinsic factor, which acts like a little taxi cab that carries B12 across the gut wall into your bloodstream, gets less reliable. And the kidneys, this is the one that surprises people. The kidneys slow down, clearing out anything extra. So high doses of B12 can build up in the blood in a form the body cannot easily use. Now, I want to be absolutely clear about something. B12 itself is not the enemy. B12 is essential, especially after 60. Deficiency causes fatigue, nerve damage, memory problems, and yes, cardiovascular risk of its own. The goal is not less B12. The goal is smarter B12. Because here's the truth almost nobody is connecting the dots on. There are 5 prescription medications sitting in the pill organizers of millions of seniors across America right now that quietly break the B12 system. Not dramatically, not overnight. Quietly, over months and years, while everyone thinks everything is fine. So the real question is not whether you should take B12. It is whether your B12 is actually doing what you think it is doing, and that distinction is going to matter a great deal right now. Before we start, drop a comment and tell me where you are watching from. Type your age in the comments too, just your age, because what I am about to share hits differently depending on how long you have been taking these medications. Now, let's begin. Medication number 1, metformin. If you have type 2 diabetes, there is a very good chance metformin is in your pill organizer right now. It is one of the most prescribed medications in America for controlling blood sugar, and honestly, it is a good medicine. For the right patient, it works beautifully. But here is what the pharmacy counter doesn't show you. Over time, especially after 3, 5, or 7 years of daily use, metformin interferes with that taxi protein I mentioned earlier, intrinsic factor. It slowly damages the taxi fleet in your stomach. So even though you are swallowing plenty of B12 every morning, less and less of it is actually arriving where it needs to go. And when B12 cannot do its job, a molecule called homocysteine starts building up in the blood. Homocysteine in small amounts is harmless, but when it climbs, it acts like sandpaper on the inside walls of your arteries, quietly raising stroke and heart attack risk. A study published in the Journal of Diabetes found that long-term metformin use significantly lowered functional B12 status in a large share of patients after just 4 years. Think about Martha and Evelyn. Both are 72. Both have diabetes. Both take a B12 supplement with breakfast. Martha has been on metformin for 9 years. Evelyn started 6 months ago. On the outside, they look identical. But inside Martha's body, the taxi system has been quietly breaking down for almost a decade. I have seen this pattern regularly in the seniors who walk into my practice already tired, already foggy, already worried something is wrong, and nobody has ever connected it to the little white pill they have been taking faithfully for years. So what can you do? Ask your doctor for one specific conversation. Say, I want to discuss my B12 in relation to my metformin. Request 2 tests by name. An active B12 test, not just the standard total B12 number, and a homocysteine level test. Those 2 numbers together tell the real story. That question alone could change everything. Type metformin in the comments if this one applies to you. Medication number 2, proton pump inhibitors, better known as PPIs. These are pills like omeprazole, pantoprazole, esomeprazole, and lansoprazole. They are prescribed for heartburn, acid reflux, and ulcers, and they are extraordinarily common after 60 because reflux becomes more frequent as the digestive system changes. Now, I need you to hear this clearly. For short-term use, PPIs can be genuinely helpful, but for long-term daily use in older adults taking B12, the evidence is genuinely troubling. Here is why. Your body needs stomach acid to pull B12 out of the food you eat. Acid is the tool that breaks the protein bonds holding B12 inside meat, eggs, fish, and dairy. When you take a PPI every day for months or years, you turn that acid way down on purpose. That is how the pill stops your heartburn, but it is also how it stops your food-based B12 absorption. A study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine followed more than 25,000 long-term PPI users and found clear drops in B12 levels after just 2 years of continuous use. 2 years. Think about Harold and George. Both love their morning eggs. Both are 68. Harold has been on omeprazole every day for 12 years. George only takes an acid pill during bad weeks. Harold's body has almost no way to pull B12 out of his breakfast anymore. George's body still does the job it was built to do. Same breakfast, same age, completely different vitamin status. And here's where it frustrates me most. The B12 supplement. Harold adds to compensate, often gets absorbed unpredictably. So some days his system clears the homocysteine properly, and some days it doesn't. I had a colleague, a brilliant gastroenterologist, who once said to me, "Li Wei, sometimes the best prescription is the one you stop needing." I think about that a lot. Here is your simple fix. Do not stop your PPI suddenly on your own, because rebound acid can be painful. Instead, bring this question to your next appointment. Ask, "Can we review whether I still need this pill every single day?" That is not a minor question. That is a potentially life-changing conversation. Have you ever been on a PPI for more than 1 year? Write that in the comments. I want to know how many of you have been taking it that long. Medication number 3, methotrexate. This one is the hardest to talk about because when someone is on methotrexate, they are usually on it for a real reason. Rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, lupus, conditions that cause genuine pain and disability. The instinct when a pill is controlling your arthritis is immediate and powerful. Do not touch it. Do not change anything. And I understand that completely. But here is what 2 decades of practice has taught me. The goal is not just to keep one disease under control. The goal is to keep the whole body working. Let me explain what happens. Methotrexate works by blocking a part of the B vitamin family called folate. And folate and B12 are partners. They hold hands inside every cell in your body and work together to build new red blood cells, protect the nerves in your hands and feet, and keep your memory sharp. When methotrexate blocks folate, and you at the same time flood your body with a high-dose B12 supplement you bought at the pharmacy, something dangerous happens. The high B12 masks the early warning signs of the folate problem. Your blood count on paper looks beautiful. Your B12 number looks beautiful. But underneath the surface, the nerves in your feet and hands can be quietly suffering. And by the time you feel the tingling and the numbness, the damage can be hard to reverse. This is called silent neuropathy, and it is more common than anyone wants to admit. Think about Ruth and Betty. Both are 70. Both have rheumatoid arthritis. Both take methotrexate once a week. Ruth also swallows a 5,000 microgram B12 pill every morning because she read online it was good for energy. Betty works with her rheumatologist on a small, balanced B12 dose alongside a prescription folate support called leucovorin. Ruth feels fine for a while until she notices her fingertips tingling and her balance feels off on the stairs. Betty stays steady. Same arthritis, same medication, completely different outcome. I have watched this story play out in my office more times than I can count, and it breaks my heart every time because it is so preventable. So what is the conversation worth having? Ask the doctor who prescribes your methotrexate this one question, and ask it directly. How should my B12 and folate be managed together while I am on this medication? That question opens a door many patients never even knew existed. Never add B12 on your own while on methotrexate. Has anyone here been on methotrexate for more than a year? Let me know in the comments. Medication number 4, colchicine. Colchicine is prescribed for gout and for certain inflammation problems around the heart. If you have ever had a gout attack that felt like a hot knife in your big toe at 3 in the morning, you know this pill well. For the right patient, it works beautifully. But here is what the brochure doesn't show you. Colchicine quietly damages the lining of your small intestine in a very specific spot called the ileum. And the ileum happens to be the exact place where your body absorbs B12 into the bloodstream. Think of the ileum like the loading dock of a warehouse. Trucks pull up, workers unload the B12, and the shipments go into circulation. Colchicine slowly damages the loading dock. Fewer trucks can unload. More B12 drives past and gets thrown out in the waste. You swallow your supplement every morning, but a smaller and smaller percentage of it actually reaches your blood. Think about Frank and Walter. Both have gout. Both are 68. Frank has been on daily colchicine for almost 4 years. Walter only takes it during flare-ups. Frank's energy has been dropping. His hands feel numb at night. His memory is not as sharp as it used to be. His B12 bottle is sitting right there on the kitchen counter, and he is doing everything he was told to do. But his loading dock has been damaged for years, and nobody ever checked. I see Franks in my practice more often than you might think. And the tragedy is that the fix is so simple once you know what to look for. Here's your simple fix. If you are on daily colchicine, ask your doctor whether a monthly B12 injection, instead of a daily pill, might be smarter for you. Injected B12 skips the damaged loading dock completely and goes straight into your bloodstream. That is not a dramatic change. That is a small, smart adjustment that can protect your nerves and your energy for years. Comment gout below if you take colchicine. Medication number 5. Now, I need to pause here for a moment because this one is different from the other 4. Certain blood pressure medications, especially potassium-sparing diuretics and ACE inhibitors, combined with potassium supplements. You might be wondering what a blood pressure pill could possibly have to do with B12. Stay with me, because this is the one almost nobody has heard about, and it is becoming more common every year. Certain blood pressure medications change the way your kidneys handle minerals, water, and nutrients. B12 is water-soluble, yes, but it is cleared by the kidneys. In seniors whose kidney function is already slowing down with age, which is completely normal after 70, high-dose B12 can build up in the bloodstream in a form the body cannot easily use. At the same time, the homocysteine cycle we have been talking about throughout this video stops running smoothly, and the sandpaper effect on your arteries gets worse instead of better. It is a quiet trap because the B12 number on your blood work might actually look high and normal, while the damage keeps building underneath. Think about Dorothy and Helen. Both are 75. Both take a daily blood pressure pill. Dorothy takes a 5,000 microgram B12 every morning because she saw an ad on television promising more energy. Helen takes a small 250 microgram methylcobalamin B12 with her doctor's guidance. Dorothy's numbers drift in the wrong direction year after year. Helen's stay exactly where they should be. I have seen this one explain more unexplained fatigue in my senior patients than any of the other 4 on this list. So what can you actually do? 2 things. First, if you are on any blood pressure pill, do not take a megadose B12 on your own. Ask your doctor about the smaller active form of B12 called methylcobalamin. And second, have the conversation about a simple kidney function blood test once a year. That one conversation could protect your heart and your brain for a decade. All right, we have covered 5 medications. Now let's talk about what you actually do with this knowledge, because information without action is just anxiety. And that is the last thing I want for you. Everything I have described might sound like a long list of things to worry about. I want to reframe that completely. These 5 medications are not your enemies. For many of you, they are keeping you alive. The problem is not the pill itself. The problem is that almost nobody is looking at the whole picture at the same time. 5 different doors, all leading to the same room. And the name of that room is silent B12 imbalance, with the quiet arterial and nerve damage that comes with it. Whether the door is metformin breaking your taxi system, a PPI shutting down your stomach acid, methotrexate masking your folate problem, colchicine damaging your loading dock, or a blood pressure pill changing how your kidneys clear the extra, every one of those doors opens into the same room. And once you see the room, you can close the doors one at a time. The body wants to heal. Sometimes our job as doctors is simply to get out of its way and give it the tools it actually needs. I want to tell you about a patient I will call Beverly, 74 years old, retired librarian, sharp as a tack. She came to me after her daughter dragged her in. Beverly was not afraid of her medications. She was proud of them. She had been on a PPI for 14 years for reflux, and for the last 5 of those years, she had been swallowing a 5,000 microgram B12 tablet every morning with her oatmeal. She felt fine. Her blood pressure was controlled. Every morning, rain or shine, she walked her little gray dog Pepper the same 3 blocks around her neighborhood. Her daughter had watched a video about homocysteine and insisted her mother get tested. Beverly rolled her eyes the entire way in. She thought it was a waste of a perfectly good afternoon. When I reviewed Beverly's full profile, her kidney function, her medication list, her active B12, her homocysteine, I sat down with her for 40 minutes. Not 15. 40. Her homocysteine came back at 31. The safe range is below 15. She was at more than double the level linked to serious stroke risk, and she had absolutely no warning signs. None. I told her the truth. We switched her to a small 500 microgram methylcobalamin B12, added a gentle B6 and folate combination, spaced the B12 away from her PPI dose, and had a long, honest conversation with her primary doctor about whether she still needed the daily reflux medication. 90 days later, Beverly walked back into my office. Her homocysteine had dropped to 17. She was walking Pepper a little faster, sleeping a little deeper, and her mornings felt clearer than they had in years. She sent me a photograph last month. She is standing on her front porch with her 2 granddaughters, grinning like she won the lottery. She wrote on the back, "I did not realize how tired I had been until I started feeling less tired. Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner?" Here's what I need you to understand. This is the single most important thing I will say today. A prescription is not a verdict. It is the beginning of a conversation. You are not a passive recipient of medical decisions. You are an active participant in your own care. The moment you walk into a doctor's office, you have the right to ask every hard question, to request every test, and to take every day you need to think. The pharmacist holds the pill, but you hold the choice. And that choice, made with full information and clear eyes, is the most powerful tool in medicine, more powerful than any supplement I have ever recommended. Let's bring it all together. 5 medications that should never be carelessly combined with B12 after the age of 60. Metformin, which damages the B12 taxi system in your gut and leaves homocysteine to quietly scrape your arteries. PPIs, like omeprazole, which shut down the stomach acid you need to pull B12 out of food. Methotrexate, which fights with folate and can mask nerve damage if you flood your body with high-dose B12. Colchicine, which damages the exact part of your gut that absorbs B12. And certain blood pressure pills, which change how your kidneys clear B12 and can let it build up in the wrong form. 5 medications. No exotic supplements. No expensive equipment. Just 5 conversations with your doctor that could change everything. Now, none of this means stop your B12 or stop your prescriptions. B12 is essential after 60. These medications save lives every single day. I have seen it. I have been part of it. I am proud of it. The message is this: be an informed patient. Pick just one thing tonight, not all 5, just one. Walk over to your medicine cabinet, read the labels on your prescription bottles, and find out whether any of these 5 medications are sitting in there next to your B12, or look at your B12 bottle and check whether it says cyanocobalamin or methylcobalamin, or write down one question for your next doctor's appointment. Just one. Start there, because sustainable change does not come from doing everything at once. It comes from one small decision, repeated consistently. Which of these 5 medications are you on? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video helped you or someone you love think more clearly about their B12 and their medications, share it. That one share might be the most important thing you do today. There is someone in your life right now, a spouse, a parent, a neighbor, a friend from church, who needs exactly this information. Take care of yourselves. Stay curious. Keep advocating for your own health. You deserve a doctor who explains everything and a medical team that treats you as a partner. And if you are not yet subscribed, please hit that button, because every week I bring you honest, evidence-based information for seniors that most doctors simply do not have time to share in a 15-minute office visit. And one last thing. Everything I have shared today is general medical information based on published research and clinical experience. Every person's situation is unique. Before making any decision about your supplements or your medications, please have a full, honest conversation with your own doctor or specialist. They know your history. They know your body. And that conversation, informed, direct, and unhurried, is exactly where good medicine begins. Take care of your heart.